Yo, what up? Got the Stardew Valley soundtrack. Is it not on shuffle? Oh, it is on shuffle. It's just, it played the first one and then the third one. We're listening to the song that plays when Grandpa is dying on the weird bed in the intro of the game. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Chat, I have another beer. I'm gonna drink a beer per stream until I get rid of all this beer. This is the same brand that I had last time. It's a tropical one. Uncle Grandpa? No, just Grandpa. Ugh. Grandpa who bestows upon you the farm in Stardew Valley, near Pelican Town. Can you please add other corners Pearl wiping oil in the clip of Pearl having her spear slowly sliding into her head, please? I don't think I'm going to entertain that with the way you worded it. I think I'm going to put some, either more amethysts or maybe some paradots. Beer yucky, I prefer seltzer. Yeah, beer has a lot of flavors. A lot of people don't like those flavors. I don't know. A little bit of a fruity flavor beer, I'm good with. Some people will call, like, girly drinks. There's a grade A under A video about, like, oh, girly drinks. I want an alcoholic drink that's, like, sweet. I don't even want alcohol at this point. I just want a soda. Fucking Dr. Pepper. This one's very strong. Wow. Oh, that's going to take me a long time to drink because, wow, that's a strong IPA. Ugh. I fucking love apple soda. I still need to find one of those places that sell the, what is it called? The apple Cidra, like the Taiwanese soda. Can't find those anywhere. I gotta go to a bigger city with, like, a bigger, Asian grocery store. There's, like, 3 different Asian grocery stores that I know of near me, and I can't find that soda anywhere. Glow stick update when? Okay, so I mentioned this to the patrons yesterday. I sent a message in the Patreon chat that, I am working on a video, extra video, probably next week for Patreon. A video about the extended intro, because I said I would give the extended intro its own video. But in addition, I'm going to conclude the glow stick experiment. So until that video comes out, no spoilers. Actually, the experiment has concluded. I have already recorded stuff about it, but I will not spoil anything until the video comes out. The question, of course, of the experiment, you know, field tested, is that glow stick bullshit? It will be answered. But for now, we have, what do you call it? We have sworn to the sword. The extended intro has like 10 times more nostalgia value than anything else Steven Universe. I agree. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I think I got in right, I got into the fandom side of Steven Universe right a little bit before that came out, that premiered. And I remember when the only version of it out was the one recording, the handheld phone camera recording from San Diego Comic-Con, which I think is the definitive way to watch that intro, which I'm going to mention in the video as well. Finally made it to one of these streams. Yeah, I decided to do stream early today. Give myself to, like, after the stream, time to, like, cook stuff. To cook dinner and cook dinner or lunch for tomorrow, because I got work starting up again tomorrow. Steven's got a little bit of that trauma, you know, post-traumatic reaction to Hollow Pearl. Steven looks kind of squished. Yeah, I really like this drawing of Steven. I don't know. He's got really stumpy legs in this one. He looks like a Cotton Hill with no knees. PTSD? No. It's not like... I don't think it would be a diagnosable fucking disorder. Just a, you know, trauma response. Not a disorder. There's a big difference. Charlie Brown mouth? Yeah, a little bit. It's not like a squiggle mouth, but he's definitely got like a Charlie Brown face going on there. There's a lot of really cute drawings in this one. I like Connie being all excited about the warp pad. Ugh. Where she's a bit floating. A little bit floating. Ugh. What's going on with your face? I killed Fitty Gems! I do like Cotton Hill. I wonder why Pearl doesn't keep this sword in her gem. She seems to have brought it from her room. And, instead of, what do you call it? I'm gonna bring the music up a little bit. It's a little bit quiet. Actually, I'll just turn my own volume up so I can hear my voice better too. So one of the more artistically consistent episodes. Yeah. She aura farms by holding it. I still don't quite know what aura farming is. Maybe I'm just not young enough to understand anymore. They did get the sword correct, like the handguard is correct with the blade. Someone said this is a saber. I don't know much about swords, so I don't know what kind of sword it is. It is a saber indeed. It looks like a machete. I have a machete for chopping out weeds, big branches and shit in my yard. So that's what it looks like to me, at least. It means you're cool farming? That doesn't clarify anything. Aura farming just means to try hard to look really cool. I think that's what I thought it meant. And it's not a phrase that I'm ever gonna use. So I've just never really grokked it. But now I think I have grokked it. Again, I'm not gonna ever say aura farming unironically, so yeah. I wish Pearl used swords more in the show. Yeah, I wish her spear was more of a staff to give her excuses to, like, not a sharp, pointy weapon, but just a staff, right? That you could smack someone with, but not something strong enough to frickin', like, kill gems with, so she would have to use swords more often. Now I know the reason she doesn't keep him in her, keep the sword in her gem, just for the sake of the show. You don't want to confuse the audience by showing Pearl pull a sword out of her gem. It's like, oh, she can, like, she has different gem weapons? Because that's not how that works. I think that's the only reason why she doesn't store it in her gem. So, at the beginning, hold on, I remember seeing this. I was going through the actual Gemology video after releasing it, and I noticed Connie keeps switching hands. Like, here she's using her left hand when the montage starts. Actually, Pearl does give her tips using her left hand at the beginning. And then, come the next scene, or the next day, or whatever, she's using her right hand? I guess Pearl's just like saying this is gonna be easier if you use your right hand. You guys have to become real fans and brainwash yourself with every reference like me. I don't know about other people, but I like having my own, like, vocabulary instead of just my entire brain being quotes of different movies and shows that I've seen. Sometimes having a an original thought is a good idea. Also, she goes to using it two-handed in... She was holding it... Okay, she has a two-handed grip here, I think. And then she goes to... She just goes to right hand, one-handed here? Why? She was used also in this. Like, I don't think... This is not a two-handed sword, right? That's a saber. You can't do, like, backswings with this because there's no sharp blade on this end. Remember somewhere in this episode there was a hand thing that I didn't point out. I know, I'll save hand things for the stream. You know what I didn't point out, and I was planning on pointing it out, but I think I just missed it in the video. I ran out of time. There's a point where Amethyst just has her old her old design, like, in the middle of multiple scenes with, or multiple shots where she has her new one. Very weird. I don't know. Some storyboard artist or some animator didn't get, like, the memo that Amethyst got a new design, so they just drew her old design. How does this get past the animators? What? No, it gets past the animators easy because they're just doing what they've always done. How it gets past the second round, corrections, that's what I don't know. So how do you see this and it's like, oh, that's just fine. That's gonna bug me so much if I ever rewatch the episode. You will rewatch this episode, I guarantee it. This is one of those episodes that's on my list of, like, if you're gonna rewatch this show, you absolutely have to rewatch Sworn to the Sword. Autocorrect is a real enemy. That's why I use a computer. If I can. It's so jarring. Like, once you've seen it and it switches to Amethyst's new thing, oh, it's very jarring. Someone said this, the previous, or this like Jasper, or this Quartz soldier, was a fusion, maybe? This isn't Jasper, I don't think. It might be. I mean, it's definitely supposed to look like her because that's, like, the most intimidating figure you've seen. But this This thing is huge. This has to be like a fusion of multiple quartzes, right? At least 2. This and Mindful Education are both top 10 episodes with top 10 songs. I remember hearing a lot of people didn't like Mindful Education. You know, when Mindful Education first came out, I wasn't a huge fan because it kind of didn't go anywhere. But that's kind of the point. It's an episode about just meditation, just chilling. My YouTube is telling me now would be a good time to insert ads. No, thank you. I'm not doing mid-rolls. Mindful Education just kind of feels like a sequel to this episode. It kind of is like a direct sequel to this episode. Because it's all about Connie training and then Steven training. Why is Krita opening up? Get out of here. Get out of here, Krita. Why did the music stop? Okay, that's what I wanted to go check. It just decided to give up. Okay. I don't know why Steam does that. That's very strange. You can see Rose's dress is a bit torn up. That's cool. I don't know what the deal is with gems. If gems like lose hair or they get their outfits like beat up a little bit, how do they regenerate that? Does that just over time it just patches itself up? I don't get it. I do think Rose Quartz is badass. I think I wish we got more of her in general. Like more flashback episodes. Eduardo, thank you for the Brazilian reals? Is it real is singular, right? And real is plural. Thank you for the 2. Love from Brazil. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Sao Paulo. It was a very fun time there. I was there when I was really young. I didn't get freedom to like go anywhere myself though. And I didn't speak a bit of Portuguese, so real is singular and reais is plural. Okay, thank you. I didn't know. I had it backwards. So her right hand gets fucked up here. And then she's still fighting with it in this scene. And then come the next training scene, well, she starts fighting with it here still. Like she's still using her fucked up hand. And then when Steven summons it, after Steven summons his shield, she switches back to left-handed. Like you're losing out on all that muscle memory. No, she's still okay. When does she switch? That's what I want to find out. I've never left America. Yeah, a lot of Americans would say the same thing. A lot of Americans don't really have a good reason to leave America. There's so much, like, if you want to go on vacation, there's already so much shit you can do just in America. Because it's such a big fucking place. Okay, so she's using it two-handed again. That's not a good sword for two-handed. I don't think. And then she switches to her left hand? Why? Ah, it's confusing me. You're losing out on all that, You're losing out on that muscle memory that you've built up in your right hand. But this all makes Stefani also ambidextrous as well as amazing with nunchucks? Because yes? I don't... What's... Nunchucks are neat and all, but, like... I feel like they're more style over substance, if you know what I mean. Okay, the spin maneuver... It's a dance move. It's not a... oh, she does a little spin here. Whoa, she left herself wide open. Pearl could fucking jab her in the side right now. I'm not sure if Connie is ambidextrous or if her animation is just not consistent. I don't know. I think she is ambidextrous because the animation should have been consistent enough to say, oh, I want to put the sword in Connie's bandaged hand. There's a reason, like, the bandage stays on her right arm. It doesn't switch between hands. So they got that right. I don't know. It's very interesting choice. Oh, look at how wide open she is here. It's not good sword technique. Not good sword technique. Seems to switch between certain shots for no real reason. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, I like the sparkles. Whoa, look at this look at this smear frame. This is cool. It's like all liquidy. Maybe using your right hand is supposed to symbolize adopting Pearl's mindset, or maybe nothing. Yeah, I think it's nothing. I think not everything is a symbol. As much as people want it to be a symbol, I think sometimes the curtains are just blue. Okay, you know what Steven reminds me of in this shot? You know how... Have you ever seen those comparisons between Kirby games, the covers in the North America version and the covers in the Japanese version of Kirby games? How Kirby is always, like, pissed for no reason in the North American version, but he's, like, normal or, like, happy looking in the Japanese version? That's what this reminds me of for some reason. Like, I don't think Steven should be pissed for, I don't know. Coolest gem weapon is Amethyst Whip. I think Amethyst Whip, like, doesn't have... It has more potential and they waste it by not showing her doing cool shit. By not having them fight more gem monsters in later seasons, I think. There's a, the video will be out on Wednesday, but Rising Tides, Crashing Skies, there is a gem monster. The gems actually fight a gem monster. And then after that episode, there isn't a new gem monster until season 3. And then after that one, there isn't a new one until season 4. It's kind of fucked. The fusion weapon for Smokey is dope as fuck. Lol. I wish it was better. I wish it was smaller. I think, weren't yo-yos, like, created as weapons initially? Am I misremembering that? I like how Amethyst used the whip to do the fire spin dash. Yeah, when she fought Jasper, there's a really cool animation where the whips kind of like wrap around her while she's spinning. And you can tell that they have weight and everything. Okay, let's look at fucked up seagull. Jasper helmet is cool. Not really a weapon, but the whole idea of how she smashes stuff with her head. I do think the Jasper's helmet it's very unique. I like that in a weapon. No gem has a sword, you know, except for what's her name? The bluebird. She just straight up has a sword, and that's kind of that. I'm glad they saved that for like future to have it later in the show, and not just use the sword and have a boring ass sword. Yeah, Sunstone's gem weapon was suction cup. Sunstone is the lamest fusion in the show, genuinely. I am not apologizing for that opinion. Yeah, I don't like Sunstone. I think Sunstone is goofy. A little too goofy for this show. It's all these seagulls are missing they can't swim. Once they land in the water, they're just fucked. They can't swim. They can't paddle around with these stick feet, these chicken legs. Someone in the comments also said that these bows can handle a lot more than just swinging it around and hitting a seagull. Also, she's like barely holding on to that thing. Steven and Garnet Fusion could have been much cooler and serious, but we got Sunstone. Yeah. Yeah. Who even makes the warp pads? That is a good question. I don't like this. Okay, so I talked about this. I'm going to go on a moon rant. Are you ready for a moon rant, chat? I talked about this fucking moon thing in the video. I said you cannot have a full moon during the day. And some people either just they just don't listen and they say, "Oh, I've seen the moon during the day." Which, yes, you can see the moon during the day. You cannot see a full moon during the day. That's not possible. And hold on. We're gonna go on, where the hell? Shit, there was a NASA page about the moon. And you cannot have a, moon phases. Here you go, nasa.gov. We're gonna look at from the horse's mouth. We're gonna look at fucking moon phases. Okay, we're gonna look at full moon, or scroll all the way down here. This is as close as we come to seeing the sun's illumination on the entire day side of the moon. So this would be the real half moon, haha. Even though the first quarter is half full. The moon is opposite the sun as viewed from Earth, revealing the moon's day side. A full moon rises about sunset and sets about sunrise. You can't have a full moon in the afternoon or in the morning. That's just not a thing. I'm gonna, if I have to, if people still don't fucking believe me, I'm gonna make a goddamn science video about this. Also, these are quarter moons, apparently. First quarter and last quarter moon. From your side of the world, you can see one half. From the other side, they can see the other half. That is also untrue. What if Steven Universe Earth has multiple moons? That isn't also not the case. We've never seen such a thing. maybe 2 half moons fused, you would still just see a moon that looks like this. That looks like this one. Because that's how shadows works. Go outside, get a baseball, go outside and hold it up to where the moon would normally be. And look at, like, if it's a bright sunny day out, you will see the phase of the moon. It's in the minute physics video. I'm gonna die on this hill, guys. When I start saying guys, you know it's serious. You can't have this. And then you can't just have a half moon in the next shot. That's cheating. That's just not okay. From your... What, how is it not true they don't see the moon? I didn't say they don't see the moon. I said they don't see the other half of the moon. Because being on the other side of the planet doesn't mean you're on the other side of the moon. The moon is millions of miles away. Thousands of miles away, not millions. Is it millions? I don't know. How far away is the moon? How far away is the moon? Thousands of miles. 238,000 miles. Okay. Moon crash out? Yeah, because people are... I don't know. People just choose to be dumb. Maybe it's not you guys in chat, but people who are leaving comments like, I've seen full moon during day. It's just not possible. Show me a picture. It's like I don't know, I don't want to say it's the same thing as like flat earth things where I guess my mindset could be swayed immediately if I saw a legitimate picture of it. Yet nobody can provide a legitimate picture of it. I don't know if I've asked for a picture of a full moon during the day yet. Anyway, we're gonna move on to foreshadowing that apparently a lot of people haven't seen this. The moon is tidally locked to the earth. Yeah, exactly. It's the moon goddess? Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I wonder if there's like a gem like moon. If the moon goddess ties to like a moon in gem religion, just a moon that's been untouched because it's like holy or something. Yeah, this stupid fucking moon in this show is like psychological warfare against me. It's like some shit developed by the CIA to get my goat. And there's a bunch of people in on it. I'm being like gang stalked by people who want to believe that the moon can be full during the day. It's made out of cheese. Yeah, you're the only correct one. Listen to Swedish guy who is obsessed with astronomy. I gotta get like Neil deGrasse Tyson on one of these streams and have him explain this shit. We're gonna talk about the pink diamond? Chat, are you gonna talk about the pink diamond? Why is this pink diamond the one that's broken while all the other ones are still intact? This beer is too strong. It's too beery. I gotta get some like shitty beer that I can cook with. Also, is it like any symbolism that like Pearl is in these, like this is an arena that Pearl comes to with the pink diamond broken and stuff? I don't know. Also, I saw another comment that Pearl gets like overprotective of Steven and Rose Quartz and all that because of the idea being that if Rose Quartz was to ever get killed, poofed, whatever you want to call it, that her gem would pop out and it would be all the secrets would be revealed, and the whole going into hiding thing would have been all for naught because they would just find out, oh, it was Pink Diamond, and then it'll all go back to whatever. Is that, I feel like that's believable, right? That Pearl's there to like protect that secret specifically. Not only is she like stupid in love with Rose Quartz, but she's like obsessively like ready to cover this up if it ever comes out, you know, if the gem ever comes out. What's your least favorite fusion in the entire series? Sunstone. I said that. Did I not say that? I don't like Sunstone. I think Sunstone's lame. Like I think someone in chat said it best, is that we could have gotten a cool fusion between Steven and Garnet, and instead we got Sunstone. Favorite fusion is definitely Smokey. I like Opal still. Opal's still my favorite fusion. She's just, I don't know, it's just the fact that she was the first that we got to see. And she's very like straightforward. Like she showcases like 2 gems fusing can give you like more arms, like more body parts. You can fuse your weapons together into a bow. I think a bow is a badass weapon as well. I think all the bow superheroes, like Hawkeye, are not lame because people only say they're lame, and the only reason they're lame is because people say they're lame. Smokey is the best weapon if you ask me. I don't know. I still think Opal, a bow that like shoots light arrows, is badass. There's a lot of, okay, on the wiki, this is unrelated to what we were just talking about. On the wiki, there are a lot of these backgrounds just like plain. Hold on. There's a lot of like desktop backgrounds you can get from like the gallery on the wiki. Let me see if I can find some. Model sheets, backgrounds, yes. These are just like the straight up plain backgrounds, which are cool as hell. Some of these are awesome desktop backgrounds if you're... Oh, what's going on? Like during the sunset, where's the sunset one? Here. Yeah, it's just cool. I wanna use this as a desktop background for a little bit, I think. I'll do that after. I'll set that after the stream. These are just really pretty. If you have an ultra-wide monitor, you can use this one. This is fucking awesome. Steven Sugar's backgrounds are some of the most desktop-worthy things ever. Yeah. I think the Lunar Sea Spire... No photo available. Okay, cool. The Lunar Sea Spire from Cheeseburger Backpack has some of the coolest background art. Why does the music keep stopping? Oh, there we go. But, yeah. Someone also said in the chat that the Sky Arena is a redesigned version of the... of the arena from Steven the Sword Fighter. But I don't think that's like that changes the fact that in the world it's like 2 different places. Like the background artist could have redesigned it saying, hey, I want to use this instead of this other one that I made earlier. And they could just say, oh yeah, we will use that, but it's going to be for a new environment. That makes sense to me. I think that makes more sense than just an art retcon of some fucking previous place we've been to. They don't do many retcons in the show, so having one like that is very jarring. Just before the topic of fusion goes away, can we talk about sardonyx? No! We're going to talk about sardonyx when we get to her, which is in a few episodes. You gotta be a little patient. Sardonyx is cool. We'll get to her. Art retcon reminds me of all the problems I have with Portal 2. I like the Portal 2 style more than the Portal 1, I think. I don't know, Portal 1 has its own vibe. But having like more solid like world building in Portal 2 is really nice. Can't wait for that Pearl/Garnet arc. You mean the melodrama? I guess it's more... It's less than melodrama. It's less melodrama than when Connie and Steven are being pissy teenagers at each other. What was that floating structure in the answer, even? What was it used for at all? I think it was just like a, you know, a court, you know, for holding council. What is it called in like a kingdom when a king sits and like hears the plights of all the fucking residents of his kingdom? It's for that. It's just like a forum, perhaps. You know, old school Roman forum, open air kind of thing. Parliament? Not a parliament. Assembly? I suppose. What is it? I guess it's just holding council. Definition, holding council. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong phrase. Assembly, maybe. But it's, I'm sure it's like a government building. Like the floating, the cloud. I mean, it's called on the wiki, it's called the Cloud Arena. I don't think it's an arena. I don't think it was supposed to be made for fighting. Maybe it turned into an arena after the attack on Blue Diamond. I could just open a bunch of fucking windows and I didn't want to do that. I gotta close some stuff, so get out of here. Close my terminal, close my VS Code I had open. I don't need that. So this hollow pearl dies when her hand gets chopped off. But I don't think a real gem would do that. Didn't Bismuth mention something about building arenas for important gems? I think she just built, like, just any old locations. I did have a, my rewrite that I want to do at some point. The world building is that, to spoil some of what I want to do is that Rose Quartz and Pink Diamond are going to be 2 different people. And, Pink Diamond, of course, is this, like... She visits Earth and then discovers one of Earth's pastimes back in the day, which is combat sports. So she gets fascinated by that and has all these arenas built. That's my explanation. So she does all sorts of arena combat, like gladiatorial combat and stuff like that, being humans against animals and against gems, you know, pitting them all against gems, animals against animals, humans against all of them, humans against other humans. And Rose Quartz was one of the combatants in that arena. And she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't kill a human. So she asks Rose for help. No. Rose won't do it. She won't fight, and then she goes after... She, like, attacks Pink Diamonds and then fucks off when they try to capture her. Any ideas for fighting sports that she might have seen 6,000 years ago? Not off the top of my head. I'm sure, like... This is the time around, like, ancient Egypt, right? Like, pre-pyramid Egypt. So we had some civilizations. We probably had some fighting sports, martial arts, and stuff like that. I looked up the phrase martial art, by the way, because I know sword fighting is a martial art, because it's a, it's like a disciplined fighting style. And I learned martial comes from describing, like, of the god Mars, you know, a Roman god, who was the god of war. So it's an art relating to Mars, as in an art relating to war. Which makes total sense to me. That's so fucking cool. Like, learning that. Learning that kind of shit is the coolest thing ever. What do you think the theory... Wait. What do you think of the theory that Pearl needs to work overtime in the battle to protect Rose to not let her poof and reveal her gem's shape? I think we talked about that, I think, before you arrived. Yeah, I find it believable that she was, like, obsessed with protecting the secret, but also, like, stupid in love with Rose Quartz. I like this glowing. Good thing she's just a hologram. It's like fighting robots in, like, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. Having, like, tons of droids get cut in half. If you did that with a guy, you couldn't do that. Can a diamond even poof by anything that's not ridiculously powerful? I don't know. Sadie killed an invisible gem monster with a stick. I don't see how a diamond would be too much different. If you caught a diamond off guard and you had a gun, you would just win. Gems versus guns. We've had this conversation a million times on stream, but I think a gun wins every time if a gem can't, like, block a bullet. Are those holograms sentient? Are you sentient? Sniper rifle headshot. Yeah, if you sniper rifle, like, anti-tank rifle headshot White Diamond, you would just shatter her instantly. Can a gun break a diamond? Yeah, easily. Diamonds, you guys don't understand. Diamonds are really brittle. Brittleness and hardness kind of are mutually exclusive. Or rather, like, what is it? Like, hardness and plasticity are mutually exclusive. So if you're a mineral that's really hard, like a diamond, which is the hardest mineral that we know of, I think. It's got like a 10 on the hardness scale. it's not gonna have any like ability to deform. It's gonna have no plasticity. Not gonna lie, I wish we see Connie's life when she's not with Steven, especially post-sword training Connie. You hit the nail on the head of why I don't like the Steven's point of view rule in this show. That there's so many other characters in the show, and we don't get to see any of them do anything because Steven has to be there for everything to happen. For every episode, rather. Diamonds are very scratch-resistant, not unbreakable. Yes. You are correct. If you took a diamond out of a ring and you just hit it with a hammer, it would shatter immediately. We're going to look at... Hold on. We're gonna look at brittleness on Wikipedia because we gotta learn about real science. We're on a real science kick this stream. We're gonna look at not ceramics. Let's see. Perhaps. Let's see. Is there diamonds mentioned in here? No. We're just gonna straight up look up diamonds. Diamond form of carbon. I don't know any of this. I'm not a real gemologist, so some of these things are not quite, yeah, the Mohs scale is it's a 10, which it doesn't mean, how easy it is to break or whatever. It's how it's scratch resistant, yeah. Which is, again, it's very good for using on tools, you know, coating a drill bit in diamond because it won't wear down like a metal might. I need to learn more about this in my free time. What are your thoughts on the authorities Lars and the off-colors might be facing? I've said this before about Lars of the Stars, is that I can't really say anything about it because I haven't seen it. Nobody's seen it. Nobody knows what it's about. We've got no new information about the show since it was announced, essentially, except for the fact that Emerald will be returning, but I think we all kind of could have guessed that. Emerald returning is cool, but in terms of the story, no idea. Yeah, but speculating is fun. Speculating can be fun, but then you're speculating based on nothing, which is kind of, I don't know. It feels like a waste of time if there's nothing, if you have no like details to base like theories off of. Trying to find, I want to find that really cute, one of the really cute frames in this that I used for the thumbnail, actually. I don't know, I really like these drawings. I just want to see Steven in his 30s. I don't want to see Steven at all. I think Steven not being in the show is kind of on my wish list for the show. I should do a maybe come summer, once I'm done with the school year, I'm gonna try to do like a Lars of the Stars wish list video or something. Just things I want to see. And I know that like I guess my most controversial one is I don't want to see Steven return. I think we're done with Steven. We've seen him enough. I don't need to see more of him. I don't need him to make a cameo. The other crystal gems, sure. I would be happy with seeing Amethyst and Pearl and Garnet and Peridot come back. I'm fine with Steven appearing, but only as a cameo. I wouldn't even want him as a cameo. Maybe as like a background thing, to have him like show up in a image as a background thing or something. But having him show up and like have any speaking roles is kind of, I'd be kind of upset by that, if I'm gonna be honest. Any thoughts on Steven and Connie's relationship? Like, will she be forever healthy through Steven's kisses? I don't know. I don't think Steven and Connie, after Future, it seems like Steven and Connie didn't really work out in the end. At least that's my interpretation of it. I want them to bring back Suitcase Sam. Okay, another controversial one on my Lars of the Stars wish list. So I want Ronaldo. I want Ronaldo to get a redemption, kind of. I think Ronaldo being like a character foil to Lars would be amazing for that show. And like having, what was it? It was someone on Reddit saying that like having his like conspiracy theory worldview be torn apart over the course of like flying through space, and having like, instead of being enamored by this like hypothetical weird world that he imagines in his head, he starts to like appreciate the real weird space world that he's exploring. I think that would be cool. That would be good character development. We're not doing Rocknaldo Part 2. All you Rocknaldo haters gotta, like, relax. I think Rocknaldo was funny. I think all of people are just pissed off because of the branding, or the advertising before that episode came out. It was after Rocknaldo that they sidelined Ronaldo into a background character. I think what I didn't like about Ronaldo is that they never did anything with him. He just kept appearing, but they didn't redeem him or finish his arc set up with Lars. Exactly. That's why I think he would be the perfect human character to bring in on Lars of the Stars. Like, I want Lars to be like getting ready to go back to space, and then Ronaldo's just there, and he's just like, "Oh, hello. You didn't tell me you were leaving again." And he's all like annoying about it, and he says, and Lars eventually concedes, or no, Ronaldo like stows away, and he's just on for the ride. Ronaldo and Petey should have been more explored. Yeah, I think Petey definitely should have been. I know we're like long past giving Petey a character, but giving Petey has personality, but giving Petey like a character arc, rather. We're long past that, because Petey is not going to show up in Lars of the Stars, I guarantee it. Imagine Ronaldo ends up saving his life. Wouldn't that be the ultimate redemption? No. You need character development to have redemption. Hey, it's that shield from Serious Steven. They reused that drawing. My most hated character is honestly Dewey. He was felt pretty unfunny to me. Yeah, I think you're right. I kind of agree with that. That Dewey is just like less interesting than Ronaldo even. Hold on. Can Lars even die with him being pinkified now? I don't know, maybe he's like a... Maybe he does go by zombie logic, like you would have to kill his brain to destroy his brain to really kill him. Because his heart, what was it, the deal? Like his heart was barely beating. If you read a zombie book like World War Z, I read that recently. The zombies, you gotta kill their brain. Like the rest of their organs hardly matter. So if you destroyed their heart, like that doesn't do anything because the heart's like not pumping blood at this point. I kind of hope Sadie never appears, even though I like her. Yeah, Sadie not appearing would kind of give Lars, like, if she appeared, it would kind of undo some of the character development that Lars had. Between both Lars and Sadie, of course. I don't want fucking Shep. What was the deal with Shep? Do you guys remember Shep? I think Shep was like very, very weird. I felt like a self-insert character, if anything. One of the writer's self-inserts. I don't know. I'll get to future and I'll talk about Shep and how Shep feels very... They feel very out of place. Who exactly? Shep was just for Sadie's character development. Yeah. Who the fuck is Shep exactly? Like no personality. The only personality that character got was other characters saying, "Yeah, Shep is a really cool guy, cool individual guy." Non-binary. I don't know what the equivalent to guy. A cool dude. He's a dude, she's a dude, you're a dude, we're all dudes. Everyone's a dude. As the movie Good Burger has taught us. Sadie needed a new love interest, but they didn't want to use a pre-existing townie. Yeah, the only other option they could have gone with was probably Ronaldo. Now that I'm thinking about it. The only vaguely set up in Horror Club. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Yeah. I never seen Good Burger 1. I've seen Good Burger 2. Because someone gave me a DVD of Good Burger 2. What, how? I just haven't seen Good Burger 1. I can, like, get the gist of Good Burger 1 by watching the first, like, 2 minutes of it. There's a Good Burger 2? Yeah. I would have loved to see Sadie date Ronaldo. Wait, what? I think it would have been funny. I think that would have been, like, maybe to bring Ronaldo down to earth. That would have been a good matchup. If you're into shipping townies. Just realistic. If I'm thinking from a writing point of view, just like those characters, putting those characters and having them both like nerd out about stuff, which they did. They did do that in Horror Club, where they're like nerding out about horror, and it was cool. And it was like, man, these characters actually have something in common. That's neat. And then that gets expanded upon when Sadie gets more character development. She was a background character. Yeah, she showed up in season 1. She was the movie theater attendant. The box office attendant. Why is it called a box office? It's not much of an office, is it? I guess it's a little office where you take... I don't know. Do you call like a teller? When you go to a bank and you approach the teller, is the teller at an office? I don't know. Confirmed by a post in his website, I think. Yeah, I think Ronaldo did... Oh, Jesus. Beer burps. I think Ronaldo did get back with that one girl. What was her name? Keep Beach City Weird. I still own Keep Beach City Weird .blog. I don't know what I want to do with that. I'll just donate it to Lars of the Stars. I'm gonna email Rebecca Sugar and say I will give you this website if you include Ronaldo in Lars of the Stars. Jane Chan was her word, or her name. I guess her name is just Jane, but Ronaldo calls her Jane Chan because he's a fucking dweeb. Okay, I gotta get off Tumblr. I don't want to start scrolling Tumblr. I've been scrolling, not scrolling, but surfing some more obscure NeoCities pages recently. I think that's more fun than like any social media that I've used. What the fuck do you mean you own it? Yeah, keepbeachcityweird.blog. If you go to keepbeachcityweird.blog, it takes you to the Keep Beach City Weird episode of Gemology. My cat showed up. What do you want? Your breath stinks. I can smell you from up here. What is my cat? Cat's got cat breath. I don't like it. Oh, blue blush. Cat mentioned. Steve is here. Yeah, Pearl's very gay. I don't know if I don't know how obvious that was until like until here. Did we have any like hints that they were like romantically, or Pearl was like romantically interested? Also, I don't know if you noticed this. This is a cool detail. There's a reflection of the clouds on the sword. That, like, if you play it back, I'm going to play it back at full speed. You can see it moving. I'll zoom in, it's more obvious. Yeah. It's animated and it's cool. I think that was a really nice... She blushed a lot in Rose's Scabbard, yeah. Before it was implied at most, here it's straight up... She straight up told us, yeah, she's very gay. Yeah. She's into large woman. Large pink girl. I like that she snaps back to reality here, though. That she's like, what do you call it? Compared to, it's an interesting ending compared to Rose's Scabbard, because Rose's Scabbard, she, like, never... She doesn't smile by the end of it. By the end of it, she's just kind of, like... She's, like, coming to terms still with the fact that Rose is gone. And, she's just, like, internalizing that by the end of that episode. But here she's like, yeah, it's like we're here to. I'm not here to reminisce. I'm here to train the new generation of fighters. When they held a hand on the floating rock, could have been a sign. That's true. Is the My Pearl in Rose's scabbard? Yeah. Someone... I said it was like My Pearl, like a Rose Quartz owned pearl, or Pink Diamond owned pearl. But it was more of a, it was like the formality that they do when you're addressing... When a gem is addressing a higher ranking gem, where they say like, oh, my sapphire, my diamond kind of thing. So it was Rose Quartz like addressing Pearl as if she was a higher ranking individual gem. Instead of like, my Pearl, I own this gem as a diamond, I own this. But no, there's no way to know that in season 1 because you've never heard a gem address a gem of higher rank, because we haven't seen a gem of higher rank. We've only seen the crystal gems. Also, I left this out where Amethyst saying like, Garnet, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I should have. I wanted to hear the Garnet joke. I was gonna include that in the video, but I didn't end up using it. Rose was too goated. I don't like how the fandom watered down her character. Yeah. I don't... Everyone did unforgivable shit in this show. Like, Rose Quartz isn't any different from anyone else. She fucking developed as a person, as a human being. As a gem being, rather. That's just good character development, like improving as a person. I don't know nothing about Dragon Ball, so you guys talking about like Gohan in the chat, I'm missing all of those references. I love how ridiculous this is with Amethyst, like, why are you all pissed off? Why are you just standing there all sad like that? Yeah, someone said it's a frame an episode where Amethyst has her season 1 outfit. Yeah, it's this episode. It's right here. We talked about this earlier. You missed it probably. How did Connie get her hands on this outfit? This training outfit without her fucking parents getting suspicious? I don't know, man. How does this kind of animation error happen? I feel like it happens pretty easily because they're using outdated model sheets. But how it gets past like the revisions stage, I don't know. I like the training fit. Maybe she just changes when she gets to Steven's house. Didn't she just like show up wearing the training outfit? Yeah, she just shows up. Yeah, and how does she explain this shit to her mom? Or do her parents just not care? It's possible. Also, what's up, James? The Apoke animation, James. She ninja sneaks away from the house, obviously. But she's got, like, bandages all over? How does she ninja sneak away from the house and then go, like, 2 towns over? Like, Connie's in a different town from Steven. People are still talking about Dragon Ball, and I don't get any of it. She wears oven mitts. It's like the middle of July, and she's got like mittens on. She's got like a long coat and mittens on, so nobody sees her fucking bandages. Pearl's room. He fixed her eyesight. He could have fixed her arm and bandages. Well, no, because his powers are still busted. Oh, Angel's here too. She probably told her parents she's on her way to fencing or ninja classes or something. Yeah, but her fucking mom would have had to sign her up for that. And then when she finds out, when we get to what do you call it? We get to Nightmare Hospital, and her mom's like freaking out. They're just like, a sword? You've been training with a sword or whatever? And she's like freaking out about that, so she obviously doesn't know. Wrist injury for practicing the violin. Yeah, you get carpal tunnel doing your bow movements. I want to buy a violin. I've probably said that on stream before. Someday I want to buy a violin and learn it. Teach myself. My daughter is no sword-wielding hooligan. Also, someone said Amethyst is like a head taller than Steven. That's because Steven's down here. And Amethyst is up here. If you put Steven right next to her, they would be about the same, like, you know, normal scale. Can I rotate this? No, that wouldn't work. If I cropped out Steven and, like, put him over here. Garnet, Master of Comedy. I left out Master of Comedy. I regret... There are certain things that I regret leaving out in Gemology videos, and this is one of them. I left this out, and I don't... I was going to say something about this book, you know, how to talk to people joke. And it's like... There's nothing to say. Like, if I talked about this joke, it would cease being funny. She does look kind of taller. That's because she is taller. Amethyst is taller than Steven. How to talk to people. Is there a book? I want to go to my library and look for a book titled How to Talk to People. Well, I'm going to look that up. I'm not going to show my library website because I don't need people finding that out. Also, chat. Speaking of libraries, I'm derailing here. I got a book from Interlibrary Loan. I got the Codex Seraphinianus. I don't know if you've heard of this book. Codex Serafini. You may have heard of this book. This is a book that's full of like surreal shit. I don't think I can show pictures of it though because it's full of like nudity. Not full of nudity, but there's like surreal weird shit in it. There's a goofy take, but among my favorite 3 fusion is Lemon Jade, who appears for something like 15 seconds. That is true. I do like how goofy Lemon Jade is. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the super chat. Why do you think Amethyst was small in flashbacks? Thank you for the 2 reais as well. I don't think she was small. I think that's just how tall she is. And I've talked about that. I think I talked about that in the show. Like on stream during the episode. What is it? Story for Steven. Where you see regular size Amethyst, this size Amethyst next to Greg, adult Greg. But adult Greg looks younger, so he looks like Steven. So your brain tricks you to think that he is Steven's height, which he's not. And Amethyst just looks so much smaller than him. I think it's an illusion. I think Amethyst is normal sized. Makes sense, yeah. I think it makes sense. I think it's you're looking at young Greg and you think young Greg is like as tall as Steven. Because he has the same outfit, jeans, sandals, star shirt. He just like looks like slightly redesigned Steven, and but he's not. Greg is like 6 feet or something. Anyway, I want to get a document camera. I want to show that book that I got from the library. I have it until July. I never knew interlibrary loans lasted so long. I didn't know the stream starts this early. Yeah, I started early today, just for the hell of it. Good evening there. It's not quite evening, but thank you. Thank you. Do you think Lapis in Steven Universe Future solos the Crystal Gems in a 1v3? I don't know. I think, well, Alexandrite beat Malachite, so I don't think so. Of course, Malachite died for the story. We're going to that the Stan Lee video where he says like the person who wins the fight is the person the writer wants to win. That's why I can never get into discussions about like power scaling because I'll just fall back on that logic. Every what do you call it? Every discussion on power scaling kind of devolves into the same like 3 things of like how much prep time do you get, who gets to throw the first punch, and like I don't know, like what mindset. I said 3 things not knowing what I was going to say. Yeah, but there's no writer here? Well, there has to be a writer. Like a story can't exist without someone at the helm. Whoever decides who's going to win is the writer. Alexandrite only won because of the watermelon Stevens. And I will die on this hill. I think you might be right. There might be some watermelons, watermelon factor. That's the third thing that I was going to say. Ben 10 solos everything. That's canon. Power scaling sucks. No, I think Uncle Grandpa wins. No matter who... Okay. Here's the ultimate power scaling question, chat. Uncle Grandpa or Mr. Frog? This is the ultimate battle. Uncle Grandpa for sure 100%. Uncle Grandpa wins? Yeah. Where does Ben 10 come into this? I don't think Ben 10 is even in the running. Welcome, Vondel. You're late. It's fine, because I started way early. Uncle Grandpa would cancel Mr. Frog. Yeah. Power scaling is dumb and stupid. Yeah, we've established that. I said that already. Can't you just destroy the Omnitrix? Can't you just, like, Vilgax touch the Omnitrix once and change him back? Doesn't Vilgax just, like, instantly annihilate him by doing that? Look at this shit. I still can't... Some people just didn't see this before, I guess. I like it. I still don't think Ben 10 is even anywhere near, because, like, Uncle Grandpa and Mr. Frog have, like, cartoon physics, right? They could just do fucking anything they wanted. Nice pixels? Yeah, it's small. Very pixelated. I bet this drawing looks awesome on, like, paper. Unless this was done digitally. Power scaling sucks? You're like the 10th person to say that. we'll move on. Because it's a discussion that comes up like every other stream, and it's a discussion that I immediately axe because it's a silly discussion and it doesn't ever go anywhere. Unless you're taking, like, you could probably take different characters from different media. Like Superman versus Steven. I don't know. You guys can have fun talking about Superman versus Steven. Future Steven. Let's talk about how bad of a parent Greg is. He's doing his best. I think Greg's fine. See, I work with kids. I've dealt with way worse parents than Greg. I think people who say Greg is a terrible parent are over-exaggerating big time. Connie's doing the hand thing, by the way. This angle is also really... I like this, just like from below. I will win any power scaling destruction. I turn off the TV. That's like saying I win every argument because I don't engage, which is true. If you don't engage in the argument, you are on top to begin with. Connie switching between, like, her outfit changing throughout this episode is really good, too. Like, she starts out in, like, skirt, right? In, like, a formal fucking skirt. And then in the next scene, she is in overalls, t-shirt, like, definitely more appropriate for being, like, doing fucking martial art. And then by the end, she's in her training outfit. And it fits a lot better. It makes a lot more sense. My neighbor's ringing his bell. Okay, so here's the story. I have a neighbor down the street, and when I moved into this house, every like afternoon I would hear this like big bell being rung. And I found out who it was. It was my neighbor down the road who he has this bell, and he like rings it. He had a husband who passed away, and he rings it as a way to, like, I don't know, what's the term? Just kind of to honor his late husband in a way. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Why is she wearing her glasses? I didn't notice she was wearing her glasses in this. That's sweet. Okay, I'm envious of that neighbor's yard. He has like the fucking coolest like garden you've ever seen. And like not a bit of grass. I don't think he owns a lawnmower because he has his entire yard is a garden. Totally real glasses. And then she takes them off later. Oh, in this... No, she switches back to a skirt in this shot. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe this is just, they didn't draw a model sheet with her, like, this overall outfit without her glasses on, and they just, like, shipped off these storyboards, and it's like, we're using this model sheet, she's gotta have her fucking glasses on, because they didn't draw a new model sheet for her. They forgore. Yeah. I'm not mad about this half moon. I didn't mention this half moon in the episode because it was a half moon. The last moon we saw was a half moon, so being like the next day and it's still a half moon is believable. Also, is Connie here every day? Is that what's happening? Connie's here like a lot in recent episodes. Steven's reaction? Yeah. Where he's like all teared up. This one. Yeah. He's like crying out of like awe, you know? It's also seeing his mom, like even a hologram of his mom. Doesn't she go to school? I don't know. This might be like summer. Or she's like here in the afternoons. Did you know Rebecca Sugar's partner, Ian JQ's grandma? You don't have to say Rebecca Sugar's partner. I know who Ian JQ is. Ian JQ's grandma is the designer... Was the designer of the flag of Ghana? Holy shit. Hold on. I'm fact-checking you. Big if true. Let's see. Dominion of Ghana. Okay. Designed by Theodosia Oko. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. Relatives Ian Jones Quarty grandson. Rebecca Sugar granddaughter-in-law. That is crazy. Fact-checked by professional. I'm not a professional Wikipedia browser, but I am not Mozilla Firefox. Fact-checked and confirmed. New trivia unlocked. I also, I work with someone who is the granddaughter of someone, these, like, famous, one famous, like, World War II, veteran who had a ship named after him. So she has the same, she's kept that last name, and, she gets to, like, visit that ship when it's in port and stuff. It's kind of neat. I don't want to say too much because then I'll like dox myself and where I live and whatnot, because people could Google that pretty easily. This is a weird hand. I know it's like a lot of the fingers are hidden. That is very weird looking. We are getting to that point of the stream where I'm talking about other shit like naval vessels and who they're named after. So it was in the newspaper one day. I saw pictures like this like teacher that I work with like standing next to the fucking president, and I'm like, that's cool as hell. I don't care who the president is. It's just like just standing and hanging out with the president. I don't care. I'm not a political person, so it doesn't matter who it is. But like meeting the president, no matter what your politics is gonna be cool if you're me. No one was supposed to look that closely at this frame type of hand. Let me see that again. I use this frame because everything about it is good except for Connie is using a saber with two hands. You don't do that, I don't think. I could be entirely wrong about that, but I think it's a saber is meant for one. Yeah, it's... Connie's looks fine. That's a fine hand. It's cromulent. This hand is a little fucked. I don't know. It's just very strange to me. Also, I don't get this pose. A beginner hand moment. Obi-Wan pose from episode 3. Oh, true. You don't get a lot of, I see some of those, when I used to watch YouTube shorts, there was a guy who would show up who did, like, sword techniques, and would kind of debunk, like, media, how swords were portrayed. Like, this would be horrible because you have no like wind up room, if that makes any sense. Like to swing or to thrust, you don't, there's not much room for your arm to move to like gain speed or whatever. Scorpion tail hair, true. Her hair, unless you zoom in, her hair almost looks black. At least on my monitor. I don't know how, you get this idea that Connie's hair is black, but then you zoom in, you can see the outlines. Again, I don't know how your screens are. My monitor is... The blacks are very prominent. Same with Steven's hair. It looks like black, but it's actually just like so dark brown that, it's just that dark. But that also makes, like, outlines very clear. Oh, it looks okay. So I have OBS on a different monitor, and I guess the color settings are different. So those lines are way more obvious on the other monitor. Keep thinking Steven has black hair. It's an illusion. But yeah, if you zoom in, same thing with Connie's. She's got like a little like reddish too. Like dark purple even. It's a slightly different brown shade than Steven's hair, which is cool. Let's see Steven and Connie like right next to each other. Maybe their hair even overlapping. Oh, even better. Right there. You can easily tell the color difference. Impressive coloring moment. I could always tell it was brown. I guess it depends on the screen. Yeah, I don't know. Steven always... It seems like... Again, it's on one screen. It's my newer monitor that I have this on. And then an older one that I have OBS on. Because I haven't, like, changed the color settings on this monitor since I got it. So maybe I need to do that. But on this monitor that I'm looking at Blender on right now, Steven's hair just straight up looks black until I zoom in. But then if I look over at the OBS preview, it's brownish. Clearly. This lighting makes no sense. Wait, does it? No, it doesn't. It's neat. It's cool that they did a little lighting on her face, but it's inaccurate. I know because I actually went to college for this shit. Lighting was something... I had a lighting class when I went to college. That was a semester. I think that was the more fun class that I've... One of the most fun classes that I had in college. Because I didn't know anything about lighting going in. But now I know how to do fucking crazy photography shit with lighting. What did I study? I studied, I have an applied arts degree. And I studied digital media, so I did all sorts of stuff like photo editing, video editing, script writing, even like digital print. Like I learned how to use fucking, what do you call it? There's an Adobe program that is good for like copywriting. I don't remember what it was called. I haven't used it. What is it? It's not Adobe Illustrator. InDesign, that's the one. Which I haven't used since the end of that class. No, not Lightroom. I hardly used Lightroom. I used Photoshop when I needed to do color grading and stuff. You just have more tools in Photoshop. Of all the Adobe software I do miss Photoshop. Did you know Steven has a rose pattern on the back of his hair? I don't see it. I don't miss Premiere. I thought I would miss Premiere when I gave up Adobe software. I don't miss it that much. I use Blender, which is not the best video editor. I've said that before. Like, I use Blender. Don't copy me. Do not use Blender because it's not a good video editor. It does its job, but it's not very... It's not going to be good if you don't know what you're getting into. His hair is a rose pattern in figures. Figures and figurines. What's the difference? I never knew there was a difference. So, like, toys. Steven, in the show, he just has, like, popcorn hair. Well, it doesn't resemble a rose, like, at all. Low-key hate Photoshop and Illustrator. They feel like one program that's been separated into two arbitrarily. I never needed Illustrator for anything that Photoshop couldn't do. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was shooting raw photos and I could easily like grade raw photos without using Lightroom. I don't know. Photopea covers both. It's very clear they could be. Yeah. I've never used Photopea. Whoa, my tab crashed. Restore this tab. No, my stream. It's fine. They reverse engineered Pink's hair to look like Steven's. It's also that sort of round... What is it? That sort of round version of a 5-pointed star. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like he's got 5 lumps for hair. No matter what angle. It's kind of a Mickey Mouse ears rule where it's always 5 no matter what angle you're looking at Steven from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It doesn't actually make physical sense. Yeah, it's fine though. It's an art. I think it is kind of a copying that Mickey Mouse rule for the ears, that they're always like a certain angle from each other. Oh wait, is this one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 behind the shoulder. That's, yeah, it works. It's just easy. It's an easy silhouette. It's a, what is it? A silhouetting technique, I guess. Now you gotta point it out in your Gemology videos when it doesn't have 5. That would be impossible. Because I don't have enough like time in a day to analyze that hard. Pentagon shirt, yeah. Pink Diamonds also has 5 bumps. I think that was the idea of the reverse engineering, like designing Pink Diamond to look like Steven's hair. So Steven's hair makes sense because it's like that doesn't look like Rose Quartz hair. It doesn't look like Greg's hair. It does make sense that it's a pinkish diamondish hair. Is me talking about White Diamond, the White Diamond, a spoiler? Yes. You will be banned. You can talk about spoilers here, but like talking about spoilers is allowed. You will be banned. It's fine. Like you can talk about whatever, except I'll ban you. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk about, talk about whatever. Talk about spoiler. White Diamond that didn't get hardly enough build up, or blame the wedding cutting the show short for not having very good White Diamond development or like anticipation for that. No, talking about Black Diamond. Yeah, if you talk about Black Diamond, I'm gonna start laughing too hard and I won't be able to say anything. I swear to God. Okay. I talked about doing a Lars of the Stars wishlist video earlier. I'm gonna bring up Black Diamond whenever I do that video in the summer or whatever. And nobody's gonna have any idea what the hell I'm talking about. My wish list for Lars of the Stars is that there isn't a Black Diamond. Talk about whatever. Okay, confession. I never really bought the Patreon. I just connected my Discord account to a friend's Patreon account to get into the server. That's fine. Someone didn't have a, thank you for the $15 $5 super chat. If they weren't using Discord, then sure. Black Diamond Truthers. Yeah, I was gonna say, one of my, like, I'm just gonna have to explain, like, the goofiness of Black Diamond. Woke up yesterday and found out my friend had a prawn artist membership. And it put me in the server. Thank you for the $5 more. Prawn artist, huh? You telling me a shrimp fried this rice? $20 to confess your sins is crazy. Yeah, I could go to a Catholic church and confess my sins for free. I don't know. I've never done a. I'm not Catholic. I've never done like confessional or whatever. Whoa! I like this frame. This drawing is cool. They look like They look like ancient drawings on some. Is it like some Central American civilization that had an art style like this, or like an island nation? I don't know. Explain the amethyst in the bottom left corner now. Why would I explain the amethyst in the bottom left corner when I can explain the amethyst in the top right corner? Confess your crystal sins? No, not crystal sins. Aztec, Steven? Is it Aztec? Let me look up some Aztec art. Maybe it's Aztec. I don't know. There are some like teeth, like this kind of like mouth depiction. I don't know. Is it Mayan? Maybe Toltec? No. I'm looking at Toltec art, and all I can think of is Spelunky. I don't know if any of you have played Spelunky, but there's a boss in that that's like a head, like made out of gold. And it looks like one of these Toltec, like faces, sculptures. I don't know what thing I'm thinking about, but okay, I was gonna say, in general, I think the art in this... She's, like, not holding on to that at all. I think the art in this episode is, like, super consistent. It's very on point. Who boarded this? Is it, Joe Johnston? Let's see. By Joe Johnston and Jeff Liu. Yeah, these guys I think are my favorite. Up to this point, I think they're my favorite storyboard artists. Which I didn't have favorite storyboard artists until I started Gemology. Aztecs invented the bean mouth? The board game called A Game. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. And then I put a little I put the over here instead of A Game. It's The Game. You all lost, by the way. How many is that? 51? It's not that much. I've had thousands before. I consider I'm winning the game because I've gotten so many people to lose. Like, I've gotten more people to lose in like at like one time. Okay, there's no winning the game, but I've made up my own game as to see how many people I can get to lose at one in like one blow. I like this Pearl, like fucking Charlie Brown ass mouth. This is a good screenshot frame. I know I'm gonna set one of these to my desktop background after the stream. I said that earlier. But just like these backgrounds are fucking awesome. It's a variant of the star eye. I want to play it at full speed. I figured out, I don't know why it doesn't initially, but when I restart Blender, it lets me... Oh, Jesus. It lets me play it at full speed. But initially, it wouldn't let me, like, once I set this timeline up. Oh, okay. Oh, it, like, carries into this... into the next shot as well. It could be a variant of the star eye. This is like the paramecium eye. Is that the correct joke? What's a paramecium look like? No, that's not quite right. What about an amoeba? Yeah, maybe an amoeba. Yeah. They're kind of like gloopy looking. Paramecium is absolutely not the correct microorganism. I don't think this shape... I should have mentioned this is a rare eye shape. But I was talking about the cry streak. Boba or Kiki? It's a boba for sure. I like that boba and Kiki experiment that they did. It's cool, like, baked into human brain type shit. We already have Kiki. Actually, yeah, we have Kiki in Steven Universe as a townie already. So now we have a boba eye. I think my mouse is dying. I need to charge it. I got a new mouse and it's wireless and it needs to be charged. Everybody do the flop. Ugh. Connie died during the warp. Oh, she dead? Damn. She could have broken her fucking nose dropping that far. Ugh. Rest in peace, Connie. If I was making a YouTube poop, I would do like a fade to monochrome black and white, and it's just like RIP Connie 2014 to 2026. What do you think warp pads are made of? I think they're made out of rock candy, like pure sugar. I don't know. Some glass. Ceramic. I talk about ceramic a lot. I know it's some kind of mineral. Probably something common like fucking calcite or something. I think my mouse is dying. What the hell? I'll plug it in after the stream. If my mouse dies, I'm gonna end off the stream. Really, same material the geode is made out of. Aren't geodes mostly like agates or quartz? I don't know. What's inside a geode? I do have a smoky quartz geode that I found. I live in Iowa. I mentioned I live in Iowa. And the geode is the state rock because you can find them fucking everywhere in the state. So I can walk down to a lake or a river and just find geodes and crack them open. I guess anything can form in a geode, right? Quartzes mostly. Porcelainite. Is that real? I don't think that's real. I don't believe you. Hyper polished linoleum. It's made out of water. Does the Iowa region would be a potential kindergarten if the rebellion didn't happen? I'm sure it would be. It's an interesting landscape here because there's part of it which is like flat and smooth by glaciers, and then other parts that had no glaciers at all. So it's like real hilly and ridgy. The geology is very neat in Iowa. It's not as neat as like a lot of other places, but it's unique to itself. Like there's like maybe one or two other places in the world that have a similar kind of geological history. I'm gonna find either dig up some geodes in real life. I could do like a geode. Didn't Germa do a geode stream? You'd crack open geodes. I don't do that. I don't go geode hunting. Find a quarry that you can. They used to do this. I worked at a school. They don't do this anymore after COVID, I think. They would take 4th graders to visit a quarry where they used to do dig up limestone for concrete, and they don't do that anymore. But the kids would be able to like crack open rocks and get these big crystals and shit. I have this huge calcite crystal. It's like 5 pounds. It's not that huge, but it's like the biggest piece of calcite that I've ever seen. And I just took home a big rock during one of those I went on a field trip with 4th graders, and it was cool. Gemology IRL. I gotta like learn real gemology. Then I could say I'm a gemologist professionally. What's up with the pentagon symbols in the arena? Where's the pentagon? I don't see a pentagon. Point at them. Point at them, chat member. The doorways? I don't know. Is it supposed to be a pentagon? They had similar shapes in the, I don't think there's any symbolism to them. I think it's not even a pentagon, it's a hexagon. Go the whole way and do geology? I don't know, geologists are boring. I don't think geology is boring. I think if you're a geologist, you're a boring person, like objectively. Just like bald people are evil, objectively. All bald people. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say things like that because I'm gonna get fucking canceled by evil bald people. Yeah, I think that I was gonna say the hand ship had hexagon doorways. Ronaldo should be bald. Ronaldo's not evil. He's just stupid. And I'm a Ronaldo apologist. I will admit that Ronaldo is like a dumb person, but I don't think he's evil. The gems would be crazy architects. Well, they are crazy architects. They built these floating fucking arenas and shit. They like gems built to this. What if he was called Robaldo? Okay. Are you bald? No. I have a full head of hair, and I don't think I will ever go bald. My grandfather, I tell people this story. My grandfather on my mom's side, you know how the bald gene. The idea is that like if your mom's father was bald, then you've gotten the bald gene or whatever. My mom's father had leukemia and went through chemotherapy and didn't lose any of his hair. So I got like extra good hair genes, I guess. Ronaldo's a Redditor. He's like minutely evil. Okay, I can accept that. Is he a Redditor though? I guess he could be a Redditor. He's more of a Tumblr user. I got the leukemia gene. Nah, he had the DDT leukemia. Not genetic. Because he's a farmer and worked with DDT. Because no one else on my mom's side of the family has any sort of like cancer. Eventually the stream will have to end because I am getting hungry. I'm not saying just yet. It's where are we past 2 hours? Yeah. There's a lot to fucking talk about in this episode, so I could keep going for a little while. I do want to do a now I want to do the geode stream. I don't know. I want to find some fucking geodes and do like a geode video or geode stream. I think a stream is easier to do than a video because I don't know. This episode is peak Steven Universe. I think you're right. I think you can put this episode and an episode like a Giant Woman right next to each other, and you'd kind of get like all of the details about what the show is about. My cat showed up. Oh yeah, because it's his feeding time too. So he's gonna be meowing at me until the stream ends and I feed him. I know I started this stream looking at this drawing of Steven. I really like this drawing. Why the long face? This is very much like a defensive position, like a defensive pose. He's in that stance like his fight or flight is like ready to go off. Cat. I'm streaming. I can't feed you. You're gonna starve. That's what I look like when someone's yelling at me. Cat's fat, he will be fine. He's actually not as fat as he used to be, but he is a little bit fat. He's fine. He's gonna cry at me like he's dying of hunger, but all cats do that. Okay, I'm reading Wikipedia. Many geodes contain banded agate or how do you say that? Chalcedony? Hold on. Chalcedony? Chalcedony? How do you say that? Hold on. How the hell do you pronounce this? Chalcedony. What? Chalcedony. That's not how that's spelled. Chalcedony? Okay, I'm looking at Chalcedony looks more correct. There's like multiple pronunciations on this Wikipedia page. But also, hold on, let me reopen that. Reopen, close tab. I'll show you what I'm looking at. You know how Chalcedony or Chalcedony. I think Chalcedony sounds better. But that's not how that's fucking bullshit. I was gonna say there's the geodes around here, you can find a lot of agates. So going agate hunting would be cool. Also, Wikipedia is also let me see. If you look up GIF, you can say it's GIF or GIF. Like Wikipedia does not have a they don't take a stance on the pronunciation of this. That's why you will find multiple pronunciations. So Wikipedia is probably not the best place to get your pronunciations. Who says GIF? I insisted on GIF for a very long time until I conceded that GIF is the more common pronunciation. And I didn't feel like arguing about it every time that I said GIF. There isn't an official pronunciation. Yeah. That's how language works. Yeah, it's just whatever is the most common pronunciation is the one that wins most of the time. So I gotta find some agates. I have a friend who told me that he wants to go agate hunting when the weather gets nicer. So I'm gonna go with him and we're gonna find some agates. Have I been on the forum recently? I have. I haven't posted on the forum in a while. Basically since I look at the forum. I check it every day at the very least. Not a lot of posts going on there yet. I need to join the forum? Join the forum. Join the forum and avoid the prying eyes of big tech. I would say that at this point that's the main reason why it exists. It's separate from any like tech company other than Cloudflare. Cloudflare is fine. They encrypt everything. But it's literally the forum is a computer running in my basement. So it's fine. It's secure in my basement. Be very, very quiet. We're hunting agates. I remember you asked in Sworn to the Sword episode for an artist to contact you on the forum. I did have one person reach out about, I think they made a thread about a cry streak counter. It was a little, what they posted was a little bit too complex. I think I'll reply with that. It's like all I really wanted was like text. I guess I didn't specify. All I really wanted was just text that said like a cry streak and then a little space where I could put a number with maybe like a character crying. I don't know how long the cry streak will last though, so I don't know if it's even worth going through the effort. But I think going through the effort will probably be worth it just to have it. Specific background art. Which one? Where were we when you posted that? This no, that was way too. I don't know. I don't know where we were when you posted that. Cry streak for forum? Should we have a cry streak? Like, if someone cried, you go to the forum and you like click the cry streak button and it updates the cry streak? Just like cry streak for forum users. Send you messages on the forum. I don't know if you received it. I probably did. Forum messages are going to get through to me. Also, that's going to be the best, probably the best way to contact me if you want to contact me directly, because I've gotten so much, like, junk email and junk, Discord DMs. Like, Discord DMs that don't matter in a way. Is that you, Pyrotechnic Cake? Is that you're the cake person in chat, so I assume that's the same. Yeah. Let me see. That wasn't you who made the thread, was it? Or was it someone else? Okay, so I got a message. I will message you back after the stream. I got a message and I got someone posted a thread, so I'll reply to both of those. I just haven't gotten to that yet. I think we've gone through the Stardew Valley soundtrack all the way, at least. No, we haven't, because it's a 3-hour soundtrack. The best background for me will always be the space one in Ocean Gem. That's a really good one. I don't know if it's the best one. There's a lot of really good background. I think some of the best backgrounds I've seen in the show were in like Giant Woman. Those look fucking cool as hell. I think, chat, I'm getting hungry. My fucking cat is getting hungry. I'm gonna end off pretty soon. I'm glad I could do stream a little bit earlier today, so I could reach some people who don't usually get to join. Giant Woman is definitely a banger of an early episode, yeah. It's incredible how, like, good... Or it's incredible to think that Giant Woman was only, like, episode 12? Like, way early season 1. Fare thee well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch over to end screen, because it's about that time. We can hear your cat meowing. Well, you can't because he's not in the room right now. You're lying. Keep Each City Weird will be coming out. Or not Keep Each City Weird, but a Rising Tides, Crashing Skies will be coming out on Wednesday. Pet Steve for me. I will do. I will feed him too. Yeah. Okay. Chat room. I will also have, in addition, hopefully later this week. Well, I know Patreon will have it first, but I have a video in the works for the extended intro. And at the end of that video, there will also be the conclusion to the glow sticks. So Patreon will get that probably this week. Not sure when it... A week later for normal YouTube people. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join the forum. Yeah. Don't forget about the shorts for a later time. True. Alright. Goodbye, chat room.